Hello YouTube, it's Conspiracy Boy here with another Carboot haul video. Slightly late as this is the second attempt at filming. Apologies if it sounds like I'm shouting at the camera, but after yesterday's video that I did, it was just really quiet. Admittedly, I did it at about nearly 11 o'clock at night, and I was shattered because I got up at like 6 as normal, went to 4 Carboot sales instead of 2 or 3, and then went off to a comic convention. So yeah, I got back absolutely knackered, fell asleep on the sofa, cooked some dinner, tried filming my video, and I was sort of talking like this, and it just didn't come out at all with this new camera. So this is attempt 2 with the new camera. So if we start on the right hand side, I found these M&M dispensers, which I thought Oddpod might like. I have a feeling he might want the top bits. This is some sort of Explorer, but he might not want the bottom bits. So they would certainly cut down on the postage costs. If you're into those Oddpods but you don't want those, leave me a little comment, we'll bin those and you can just have these guys. So we got the Explorer fella, oops, and we got a Caesar type fella there too, and we got Napoleon, and they also had this little solid M&M here. God, I like the autofocus on this. Little M&M guy, and they had all these micro machines as well, and it was an absolute bargain price for these. I got these at the third Carboot. It ended at sort of 11:30, 12. I didn't really get there till 11, so whatever they had left was going really cheap, so I was really chuffed to get all those for very little money indeed, so that was good. At the second Carboot I got this, which I thought was one of those sort of Star Wars mini-mates X-Wings, but I got one of those for Rabbit previously, and just for size reference, here's a couple of mini-mate characters. I'm not sure if they're actually called mini-mates or playmates or Hasbro Heroes or whatever they are, but for size reference, these things look way too big to be used in this. I mean, you put a little one in the seat there, and this looks huge. The machine looks huge by comparison, so not sure if that is mini-mates. It's really scaled up. Only cost me £2, but it'll take up valuable space in the flat, so definitely up for trade. If not, eBay, I'm afraid. This little lot I was really chuffed to find. It's these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lord of the Rings figures, and these 5 assorted bits here. They were 50p each from, well, basically traders. They are traders, but they just do a fair price on everything. So I took the 5 Lord of the Rings figures for £2.50. We got, I think that's Sam, maybe that's Aragorn, maybe. And the little dwarf fella, I forget his name, Glimley or something, who knows. Maybe another Aragorn in like battle gear or something. And right at the end there, I haven't at the foggiest, some sort of elf maybe, I don't know. Then they had this He-Man figure, which is in better nick than the one I already have. He actually has a belt and just looks pristine, so I was happy with him. 50p, he'll replace my other one and put one of these up for trade. He had this Mannix figure, which is probably my favourite Mannix figure that I've got. I think it's the 4th or 5th Mannix figure now. I think I found one randomly at Carboot, and Carboot collectors commented on it, telling me what it was. I then was trying to pick them up specifically for him, and ended up just liking them too much. So unfortunately, I can't bear to part with them now. So sorry, Carboot collectors, but these things are just so cool. Knockoff toys are very rarely as cool as these Mannix ones. Then they had a Sergeant Slaughter, bit of paint damage, seen better days, but it was alright. This guy that I can't work out what he's from, I thought he looked pretty cool though. He looks like some sort of orc. He's got an eye patch and some armour. On the bottom, on his feet, it says trademark and copyrighted 1996 MCA Toys Limited, Toy Biz Inc. so he's probably from a film of some description. Don't know what though. And then, because it was on $4.50 and I just wanted to round it up to $5, I found this, which I think is maybe a Star Wars Micro Machines toy thing. Don't know what it is. So if anyone knows what that is, comments below. Hatch at the front opens up, but there's no one in there that will give it away. And the hatch at the side opens up, but again, nothing in it that gives it away. And for as much as I can see, the only marks on it are 1997 LFL. So I don't know what that is. Oh, maybe the autofocus isn't as good as we first thought. There we go. So that little lot cost me £5. I was quite happy with that. I mean, it wasn't a bargain price like that stuff over there, which just probably works out at like 5 pence a piece or something ridiculous. And this, which is obviously worth £2, especially since it still has all the sounds. Yep, still got the sounds. This fella I picked up for 10p. Didn't know what it was, but I think it's some sort of Power Rangers thing because it says Bandai. Apparently they just do Power Rangers exclusively, perhaps. But yeah, that was 10p, so I thought for 10p, yeah, it's worth a gamble. These Simpsons figures and these 3 He-Man and this random one were all from another friendly trader. Did them at 50p. This one, again, He-Man, better condition than the one I've already got. Got his armour as well, so I'll keep that one and trade out my other one. Again, this lizardy looking fella, better condition than the one I previously have. Has his tail and everything, so I'll be keeping him, trading out my other one. And another Beastman. Face is always knackered on these ones. I think it's Beastman. If I'm honest, I don't really remember the names of any of the He-Man ones, but yep, he was pretty cool. Liked him a lot. And I think this is the 3rd one of those I've got now, so now I've got 2 of these up for trade. So she wanted 50p each for these. I said I'll take those. I also took this guy. I don't know what he's from, guys. He looks pretty well detailed. I'm sure I've seen a few of them. Don't think it's Star Wars, but I'm not actually sure. Don't think it's Doctor Who, because the markings wouldn't be right for Doctor Who. The markings say Hasbro, 2007, LFL. I mean, it might be Star Wars, but I think it'd be an odd-looking Star Wars character if it was, though. What do I know? But yeah, 50p. I thought he'd be worth a go. She also wanted 50p each for these Simpsons toys, and I said to her that I was very interested in them, but it was just too much money for the size of them. So I offered her £5 for the lot. So we paid £2 for those and £3 for all these. I was originally collecting these for Ben F. And I must have picked up a lot of Simpsons stuff. So much so that he's asked me to stop getting them for him. However, I've started liking them now. It's always the way. If I start collecting something for someone and I get enough of it before I send it off, I fall in love with it. So I'm happy to have Nelson, Otto, Willie, Ralph, either Rod or Todd. I like the ones that aren't common and that are funny characters in the show, so I'll definitely be keeping a few of those. So that was £5 for that little lot, so it was £10 for all those sort of toys there. I thought that was quite good. I mean, it's not brilliant, but I'll try and not say, that was quite good, or chuffed with that, because I played back my video from yesterday, and even though you couldn't hear it, I said that to everything I picked up, and after half an hour, it just got bloody irritating. So I'll try my best not to say it, guys. Anyway, I got this Capcom Classics Collection Remixed and Red Dwarf Smeg-Ups on PSP for £1.50 for the pair. I don't have a PSP, but after getting these, I think if I see one cheap at a Carboot, I'll pick it up. You know, maybe tenner, something like that, £5 ideally. That'd be good. But for £1.50, what a bargain. These 2 Xbox games, they were £2 each. Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, and Resident Evil 6, because, you know, Conspiracy Boy likes his zombies. What else did we get? I was walking past a seller at the second Carboot, and he was just opening up. He had 2 talking Cheech and Chong sort of plushies in the box. They were about 12 inches, batteries were going on them. He wanted £10 each, which was too much, and then he pulled this Gollum out. I said, how much for Gollum? He said £2.50. He took £2 though. I did look at it and think that looks very much like the Two Towels Schmeagol exclusive DVD collectible, and this came in a big box set. Obviously they didn't have the box set, they just had the statue, but I thought for £2 it's got to be worth more than that, and with all the Lord of the Rings stuff I have nowadays, I'm going to have to try and display it somehow. And then this lot here, guys, I don't think I can get it all in screen. Yeah, just about. Everything that you see on your screen now was in a 10p box. So I took out as much Playmobil that I could find that looked in relatively good nick. I only wanted the ones that had hair or hats or something. I pulled out a few accessories that he let me have for nothing as well. So this little lot on your screen cost me £3. There's a couple of Doctor Who figures. This one that looks like some Sentinel zombie space pig, as you do. And this one that looks like Doctor Who, but as if he was in space, because we all know Doctor Who was on the Apollo 13 mission. And these that look like mini-mates, but like, I don't know, Doctor Who style. So yeah, picked them up. He also had a Darth Vader, missing his face, or his helmet at least. You can see his face, which looked pretty cool to be fair. And then the rest were pretty much all Playmobil. He had some cool ones like this knight here. He had this little buggy, snow speeder. Oh, he also had this ambulance. He did me an ambulance for 10p. But best of all, this, which is one of the guns for one of the Transformers that's on my shelf. And I thought, when will I ever find another little bit of those? And it cost me nothing. Happy days. So yeah, I was well chuffed with that. There was some little Ben 10 figure thing. I've got a few of those. They might go off to oh, your name eludes me, my American friend. Pharrell the Pharralligator. Of course it would. So Pharrell, that'll go with all the rest of the stuff for you. These things, which I think are Moshi Monsters. Is it an apple? Is it a love heart? Is it a tomato? I don't know. That might go to a friend of mine, or it might go to good old Polly. And this little thing, which I think is a Moshi Monster. I might chuck that in your bag for the little Maras. I also got these things, which I didn't have a clue what they were. I thought this sort of looked like, oh, what's his name? Martin Freeman, who's just done that new show Fargo. Thought that sort of looked like him in the Fargo clothing. But a friend of mine says that it's definitely from the Golden Compass, whatever the hell that is. I think these were like 20p each or 10p each or something. I certainly wouldn't have paid more than that for them, because they're just random, ugly toys that no one cares about. But yeah, so we were chuffed with all that lot for £3. Playmobil, I mean, it's not the most collectible stuff going, but it does have some sort of value, I guess. And then I saw this sticking out of someone's box at the first Carboot. I walked past it like, oh, I'm not really interested in that, and had a rummage in a box. And it wasn't until I got back and looked that it actually does have a little snow speeder in there. I mean, it's missing all the other bits, but I've actually got boxes and boxes of the little bits that go with these sort of playsets. Can't remember if I've already got this one, but I've got so many Star Wars Micro Machine playsets, I probably do. Even though a lot of them will probably go to Polly Polly Poo Poo, I've got doubles and trebles of some of them, so if anyone wants Micro Machine Star Wars playsets with the bits, let me know, because I am trying to get rid of those. So anyway, I walked past that and had a rummage in their box, and I found this Aladdin figure, who looks like he's been doing naughty things with the red eyes he's got going on there. This little Ghostbusters Burger King toy, which, you know, I thought, let's see what price it is. If it's cheap, we'll have it. She had this hamburger from McDonald's. That's one of those cool McDonald's Transformer toys from back in the day. I like those. Trying to complete the whole set. I think I already have done, or got very close at least. So we got the burger there, that was one I didn't have. She also had these things. Now I swear I've seen this one before. It's like something living in somebody's trousers. It looks pretty cool. The plastic's pretty tough considering the size of it. It's not quite flexy like, you know, a monster in my pocket. I had this slimy one here too. And this thing that looks like a coat hanger with teeth, with a brush and maybe a mirror. But they are just the most random things going, guys. I'm sure these aren't my pet aliens, because they were a lot easier to work with. And these things say 1997 MIG. Monsters in God? I don't know. But if anyone knows what those three little things are, I'd really be interested to find out. She also had this polywhirl that you turn inside out and it becomes a Pokeball. I think these are the things that our friend Orange Hedgehog picked up the other day and was asking if I'd be interested in. She also had this, which is a Medabots starter deck. Yeah, I don't know anything about these, but I have a book of this that Carboot collectors were interested in. So I picked that up. It has this Medaploot card in there, also this Metabee card, and then a load more. I'll just randomly throw them out quickly in front of you. Camera probably won't pick them up quick enough, but it'll give you some idea of what's in here. I don't know if any of these things interest you at all, Carboot collectors, and I won't spend too long going through them, but it just gives you an idea of what you'd be getting in this little box if you wanted it. So yeah, that was the Medabots playset, or whatever they're called. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, guys. And I found this little rubber for 10p. I thought that was probably the coolest rubber I'm ever going to see, and I use pencils at work nowadays, so happy to find that. And then there was these 4 Pirates of the Caribbean toys. They had all their accessories as well, so that was cool. They wanted 50p each, but they took £1.50 in the end. So we took those for £1.50. Found a little Pikachu. It's 20p. It's one of those battle ones with the ball in the bottom. Another Robot Heroes. Again, this is another double. I think I've got 2 or 3 of these now, so these are up for trade. I really hope I don't have to sell, guys, because I hate selling stuff, because people want a price, and I know what I paid for it, and I don't want to overcharge, but I don't want to undercharge. So yeah, trades only, please. But anyway, we found this little Indiana Jones and this monster thing from Scooby-Doo. I asked how much for these 2, and they said it was 50p for the lot. The rest of the lot was just Kinder Egg toys, like proper tat. So I said they can keep that, and I'm paying 50p for the 2 of those. So yeah, that was that. I bought these for £1, Snow White 7 Dwarfs, and as you can see, there was 7 when I bought them, and I've lost one on the way home. And not only have I lost one, but I lost the best one. I lost Dopey. So I'm going to have a route around in the car, see if hopefully it fell out there and it didn't just fall out when I was walking around the car boot, because there was a hole in the bag, I think. So yeah, hopefully we can find one more dwarf. They were £1. It was £1 for this Jake and the Pirates of Neverland toy, still new in the box. That'll probably go to my friends' kids, because they really like Jake and the Pirates of Neverland. I quite often see these big sort of 7-inch, 8-inch figures of Jake the Pirate, but people always want a £5, and they're like, oh, well, it's still a new show. Yeah, but you're flogging it at Carboot, mate. Anyway, I think it was 20p for this Darth Vader with his cape, and it was 20p for this little Wolverine, which only I have to purchase him. Did I realise clearly needs a motorbike to go with him as well, so sucks I don't have that, but still it'll go in with the rest of the Marvel stuff, and if no one wants it, it'll be a job lot on eBay. This stuff was actually the first stuff that I bought. It's the first thing I bought in the first car boot. I asked this little boy how much he wanted for his little Lego figures, because he had this tub full of them. In fact, I can probably grab it from here. He had this tub, and he just opened it up, so I went past, and it was full of Lego minifigures. So I said, how much for a minifigure? He said 20p each. He said they were all in pieces, they weren't built like this. He said you could probably make 10, so I went, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'll give you £2, because I could see there was probably like 12 or 13 in there. And there's all these accessories. There's like hats and swords and capes and all sorts, just random things, flippers and armour and yeah, just loads of stuff. So I took that little lot off him for £2, and I took a Darth Vader with a lightsaber for 50p. Definitely not his lightsaber though, because it won't even fit in his hand, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's the same as the other one I got for 20p, so maybe I overpaid on that, but for £2.50 I thought that was quite a decent little lot. I also found this McDonald's toy from a different seller. They wanted 50p for this, so I just walked off at that. And they sort of shouted about, well, you'd have it for 30p then if you want. So for 30p I had it. It's another one of the Transformers. I think the last one in the range that I actually needed. But just to show you just how poor their transforming function is, this is it fully transformed. Some sort of strange looking dinosaur. Very odd. Of 30p, it'll help me complete my set. I also found this Mighty Max playset for 20p. Don't think I have this one, though it is missing all the pieces inside. It's literally just the casing. Definitely had this one as a kid. This is probably my favourite Mighty Max as a kid. So yeah, I was quite pleased to find that one for 20p. I bought these ponies for a friend of mine. They're like unicorn ones with like wings as well, because you know unicorns always have wings. It was £1 for 3, so I thought that wasn't too much of a bad deal. Got some PlayStation 2 games. Got Terminator 3 Redemption, 50p. Def Jam Vendetta for... I said that wrong yesterday as well. Def Jam Vendetta for 50p as well. This was quite a good game. I had this as a kid. You get to play as some famous hip-hop rap artists. It's got a pretty good soundtrack. You get to play as like Method Man and Redman, who are two of my favourites. So yeah, that was really fun. And Terminator Dawn of Fate. Feels really heavy for some reason, but again, these were all 50p a piece. Only got the one disc. I mean, it's complete, it just feels heavy for some random reason. Then I got these books. This one was 20p. It's Defenders of the Earth. I sometimes pick these books up if they're cheap. I do have quite a few of them though. Yesterday when I opened it up for the camera, I pulled it to the first page and it had the address of someone who lives very local to me. So I've chosen not to show you the address because it will tell you exactly where I live basically. There's a little flash of it there, so let's just stop that before I do anything foolish. And then I got a stack of comic books for £3. We got The Lengths by Howard Hardiman. The first 5 copies of that. Some of them are marked up at £2.50, some of them £3, some of them £5. We got The Amazing Spider-Man Coming Home. I think this is one of the Ultimate Graphic Novel collection. Yeah, so got that one. And there's a few more in with that deal that I got. Let's see if I can find those before we move on to anything else. Batman Legends. 3 comics in one. We got that one chucked in. We got Ultimate X-Men and Gabriel Gushing, Fright at the Opera, and also Sisterhood Morning Star. So yeah, that was £3 for that little lot. I thought that was a bargain. And then we got these 3 for 50p. Doom Patrol, with this sort of fetus controlling this android body. I really like that. It's made by Vertigo and DC, who did Preacher, so you know it's going to be quite a twisted, dark tale, and they'll be pretty much allowed to do everything. So that was cool. I got a Deathmate, which I'm pretty sure our friend Jeff Solo sent me one of these, so I'm chuffed to find another one. And he also had Stalkers, which I thought had probably the most creepy cover to a comic book I've ever seen. I mean, this was November 1990, but how can you get away with calling something Stalkers and putting on the front cover, buy this book or I'll nail these kids? I hope nail is used in a different context than how I'd normally use it. Forget it. Even if you do buy this comic, I'll still nail the kids. So, for a comic book called Stalker, I thought that was an inappropriate cover, but still, you know, Marvel will do anything, and it actually looks like a fairly decent comic book on the inside. You know, who doesn't want to see lizards, robots attacking Robo-Men? I mean, what could be better, really? So yeah, 3 for 50p. I thought, yeah, that's a bargain, we'll have that. These next ones were 10p each. We had this storybook of the Transformers. Nice artwork inside, but it is very much a storybook and not a graphic novel. We had the Action Annual 1984. I just picked this up because then it made it 50p, and rather than messing around with 10 pences, might as well have them. Knight Rider, which I just thought was amazing. I've never seen Knight Rider books. Who would have guessed? Oh, someone's coloured that in. What a pain. they coloured that in, or does it normally come like that? I think they've coloured that in as well. Maybe they don't, maybe that's how it came. I don't know. It does look just as terrible as the show was. A few comic book strips in there, but mainly just rubbish. And a real Ghostbusters annual, pretty beat up. Big rip on the front. They've done the puzzles inside, and on one of the photos they wrote hello on everyone's face, which is just annoying. But I've already got one of these, so this was just a double. Might be up for trade if anyone wants it in this condition. I very much doubt they will, so I'll probably just end up cutting it up and using it as packaging material when we ship the boxes next week. We also got the Incredible Hulk. I thought this was probably the best one out of all of them. It's a nice little artwork at the front of them all in some sort of marching band. It looks really nice quality inside. It was probably the one in the best condition, which either meant he really loved the Hulk and took good care of it, or he didn't like the Hulk and so he never even bothered to read it. But yeah, that one's really good nick, really colourful, really like that. And then this one, in fact I think this was in the £3 deal as well, which is just amazing. This is some hardcover Iron Man graphic novel. It looks like a fairly new one as well, because the artwork in it is superb, conditions incredible. Yeah, I was really chuffed with that, being War of the Iron Man. That was nice. It was 50p for these two. Turtles book 3. Only in the 80s and 90s could you print a picture on a piece of cardboard and call it a free extra. And as tacky and cheap as that is, I've never seen one of these before, so we'll definitely keep hold of that. I definitely had this one as a kid, I remember that one, so I might hold on to that. Oh, and the other bit that came with it was this Turtles colouring book. I think it's the same as the one I sent to Oddpod when we last did the boxes. No one's drawn in it yet, which is a bonus, but not new in the packet like Oddpod's. And then you've got the Transformers annual as well. I think this might be a double because I got a few of their annuals. Again, beautiful condition, beautiful artwork. I was really chuffed. This was another one that was 10p. So, overall we did quite well on the comic book front this week. And on the DVDs too. These two came from the fella who sold me the Red Dwarf and the other PSP stuff. He wanted 50p for these. And these are the Star Wars DVDs, and these are two of the first Star Wars. I haven't seen these, well, I think I only literally saw them once as a kid, so I'm really chuffed to have these. I really look forward to watching them again, and you never know, I might get back into Star Wars, and having 3 boxes that size full of Star Wars toys might not be such a waste after all. So yeah, chuffed with those for £1. I saw Carboot Collector's video from last week, this week, I forget, but he was talking about picking up some wrestling DVDs because apparently they've got a high trading value. The lady wanted £1 each for these. WrestleMania 21, looks like there's more than one DVD in there, and the Royal Rumble 2003. I offered her £1 for the two. She said yeah, so hopefully they've got a better trading value than 50p, because even though Undertaker's in them, and there's some that have got like the Dudley Boys and a few others that I recognise, not really for me. And the Pacific that I got for £2 from the same bloke that sold me the Xbox games at £2. This is the follow-on for Band of Brothers, which I loved. I've been told it's not as good, but you know, still, for £2 I'll give it a go, rather than paying like 30 quid or whatever when it was new. Speaking of new though, I got this Angry Birds Star Wars Jenga. This was £1, so yeah, I was really chuffed to find this boxed. If nobody wants it, I might just stick it on eBay, and I'm sure it'll go for more than 99p in this condition. So yeah, happy to find that. And there's some real goodies over this side. So in last week's video I didn't show you, because I don't often show you the stuff I buy that isn't games, comics, DVDs, or obviously toys, but I quite often buy furniture and stuff like that from the new flat and just in general. So anyway, last week this bloke had this bamboo towel rack new in the box that I paid him £2 for, and when I actually got back and tried putting it up, it was just rubbish. It was definitely broken, and he'd printed something off so that he could take it back to the shop and never bothered. I mean, I took all the nails out of it and glued it together, so it's fine, it does the job, but could have at least said, or maybe just forgot. Anyway, he was there again this week. There's a lot less people this week, so I got to have a proper rummage in his box, and he did me this little lot here for £2.50. So the first things I found were 4 of these Monsters in My Pocket Wrestler, still in the packets, because these came free with cereals. I think I've got 2 of this guy, new in the packet. These are all doubles, but not new in the packet. I've got 2 of them new in the packet. He also had these instructions for some Beast Wars figures. There's an Optimus Prime and an Inferno. So yeah, I was chuffed to find the manuals, even though I don't actually have the toys that go with them. He had this, which looks like some sort of robotic armadillo. Sort of reminded me of the meteor orbs. I don't think it is a meteor orb. I don't think it's even a transformer. But yeah, you can barely call that a transformation, really, can you? But yeah, chuck that in the deal as well. So there was another Playmobil figure. This one looks like some sort of warlock or priest or something like that. He had 1 micro machine. This little plane. He also had a knight. I'd normally leave these, but again, Carboot Collector said that the ones that say Made in Britain on the bottom, worth something to someone. So I grabbed him because he looked in really good nick. He also had this Greebo from Star Wars. It looks like quite a new one, but chuck that in the deal. Then he had this, which I'm assuming is the leg of a Megazord, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely metal and heavy, and yeah, can't figure out how it moves or anything, but yeah, if you know what that is, guys, comment below, but I bet you that's the leg of a Megazord. So yeah, that was cool. And he had another one of these Batman Micro Machine playsets. I already have one of these that I got the other week, and it had all the pieces in. I did find a spare little Batman on the same day. So when I found this, I thought there's no way this will have all the pieces with it. It does. I don't know how I keep finding these with all the pieces. There's the Batmobile there. Oh, and there's the little Batman. There he is. So yeah, chuffed to find another one of those playsets. And even though it was £2.50, I thought, yeah, that was quite a good little deal for £2.50. So I was happy with that. I got this little Hello Kitty. I think it's a lollipop holder, but that was 10p. So that'll probably go to a friend of mine. There was this Dragonfly's base and this little Mighty Max Mini, and she wanted 50p for the 2, so I thought, yep, it's a deal. There was this Care Bear, the lucky one, it's 50p as well. And the only vintage thing I got turtle-wise today, which is a duplicate of one I've already got, was this Bebop. He was 50p, so happy with him. I also got this little Noddy car for my friend who likes Noddy. He was 20p. These 3 were 10p each, so we got a Stan Marsh, a Frozen Kenny, and a little Super Mario 2. And then this little lot came from the same bloke. I think it cost me £1 or something like that. So there's the Captain Jack Sparrow. I really like this Captain Jack. It's probably my favourite one, as well as the gold one, because he's like half deformed, it's turning half zombie, his face is going, and yeah, I really like that. And his hat fell off after I bought him, but luckily the little boy was running around trying to find it in the grass. We never found it, fell in the bag, so we wasted ages looking for that. He also had this sort of Beast Wars cheetah. I don't think I have this one, so he's going to go on the shelf. He had this little pullback toad. I've got a few of these now. Put them on a little display, I think. And this little golden Moshi monster as well. So for £1 for that lot, or £1.10 or £1.20, it was very cheap. So yeah, I was chuffed with that. And then I found this in a box. They had a Spider-Man. I thought, doesn't look very cool. Don't really like that Spidey. Got loads of them. There was this Star Wars looking fella. Again, I thought I've got a few of them. Don't know if I want it. And then there was X-Men 2. Wolverine's Revenge, which I don't know if I've got or not. But I said how much for the 3, they said £1, so I thought, for £1 you can't really argue, can you? So we took those, happy with that. Then I saw a seller with these Street Sharks. this sort of bad guy here. They had loads more of them. They probably had 10 or 15 street sharks. So I just asked, you know, how much for your street sharks? £3 each. Wasn't a trader, just someone doing a carboot. I said, you're having a laugh. They're not worth £3, but they were adamant. I said, you know, what would you do me for 5? They said the best they could do was 12, which I thought, well, that's not really that great. So I said I'd go off. I walked off, came back, they hadn't sold any. Surprise, surprise. I said, what would you do for 4? And eventually they went down to 6, and I said, look, this is still too much money, but they're ones I don't have. They're actually in pretty good nick. The ones I got, at least, were this guy who looks like he spits water. You've got this guy, this like hammerhead, but he's got, you know, wings or something, and he's all metallic. You've got Moby Lick, with his tongue action still working. And then Ripper, or Ripster, or Ripley, I forget what his name is, on his bike. And then before I paid up, I saw they had a boglin that they wanted 50p for. And I was just like, you're charging me £3 for street sharks, but you can do a boglin for 50p, it's just madness. So I was really chuffed. This is one of the boglins that I've been looking to find for a long time. And they also had this like really beat up squeezy Mechagodzilla, which I thought might be one of the few things that we've picked up for Dreadnought in a while. Just seemed a bit dry for him lately, so sorry Dreddy. But really, £7 for that lot. I mean, ideally I'd like to pay 3. Yeah, £7 still isn't too bad. I got this canvas for £1, which will go up in the new flat somewhere. And the last thing is I got, as I was walking off, I saw the genie from Aladdin sticking out the box. I thought in light of recent events I'd have a dig. So we took the genie there. I think his hand should be up like that maybe. Yeah, there we go. So there's the genie. There's Jafar when he's in evil genie mode there as well. And then they had the dad. I forget what his name is, but he's sort of like a wibble wobble. He just wobbles around.